Captain Ryan Coleman stood at the center of the Galactic Peace Station, watching crowds of aliens pass by in every direction. The station was a giant floating city where hundreds of species met to trade knowledge, culture, and peace. Humans were still fairly new to the galaxy, so everywhere Ryan walked, eyes followed him with curiosity. Today was supposed to be a quiet diplomatic visit. He was assigned to meet a group of alien researchers from the Delari matriarchy, a race famous for their intelligence and leadership in science. They were also known for something else, something Ryan only learned after reading the mission file 3 times. The Delari were fragile, extremely fragile. Their bones were hollow and brittle, their skin thin, and their bodies sensitive to even light pressure. A human handshake could injure them. A hug would be a disaster. It was the first species humans had met that were physically weaker by such a large margin. Because of that, Ryan walked carefully as he followed the glowing path along the station floor. He kept his arms close to his sides, worried that even brushing against someone might cause trouble. He had no idea how much trouble was actually about to happen. The Delari arrival. When he reached the meeting hall, the doors slid open with a soft hum. Inside stood 6 Delari women, all tall, slim, and gentle-looking, with glowing blue eyes and soft silver hair. Their bodies seemed almost transparent, as if light could pass through them. The leader stepped forward and bowed. "I am Professor Lire Valesh, head of Delari Cooperative Studies. We welcome you, Captain Ryan of Earth." Ryan nodded politely. "It's an honor to meet you. Humans are grateful for the chance to learn from your people." The Delari whispered among themselves, voices light like wind chimes. Ryan caught a few words. "He is calm. He is balanced. No sign of strain." He wondered what that meant, but he ignored it. Everything seemed normal, until his second-in-command, Officer Mara Hale, entered behind him. Mara, being the friendly type, gave Ryan a firm slap on the back. A completely normal human gesture, a very bad idea on a station full of delicate aliens. The Delari women gasped, loud and horrified, as if they had just watched Ryan get stabbed. Professor Lire covered her mouth. Did she strike him? And he did not break?" Another Delari whispered. "Humans can endure bonding blows without injury." Mara froze mid-motion. What?" Ryan slowly realized what was happening. They thought Mara hitting him lightly was some sort of human bonding ritual. He tried not to laugh. "It's okay. Humans are sturdy, so that didn't hurt me at all." But the Delari had already reached a different conclusion. "He survived without damage," one whispered. "His structure must be incredibly stable," another said. "Humans must share cooperative signals through shock impact." No, please stop," Ryan said. "We don't do that." But it was too late. Rumors were already forming in their minds. The misunderstanding grows. The Delari surrounded Ryan with shining eyes, studying him like he was a piece of advanced technology. "Captain Ryan," Lire said carefully, "are you telling us humans can engage in physical bonding without breaking their bones?" Ryan blinked. "Bonding? You mean greeting gestures?" "Yes," Lire nodded excitedly. "In our species, physical contact must be extremely soft, or else our skeletons may crack. Even a simple greeting can take years of training." "That sounds stressful," Mara whispered behind him. Lire continued, her voice full of awe. "But you humans, your bodies can survive sudden contact? Even impact gestures?" Ryan sighed. "Well, yes, humans are pretty tough." A Delari woman gasped dramatically. "Unreal!" Another whispered. "Impossible." Yet we saw it with our own eyes. The entire group now stared at Ryan as if he were some legendary warrior. Ryan scratched the back of his head. I promise we're normal, not unbreakable." But the Delari didn't believe that at all. To them, this wasn't normal. This was something extraordinary. something only a mythical guardian species could survive. The ancient Delary myth professor Lirai held up a glowing tablet. In our old stories, there is a legend of a species known as the steel-bonded ones, beings who could withstand all forms of pressure and hardship. They were said to be perfect partners and allies, able to protect weaker races. Rian raised an eyebrow. Let me guess. You think humans might be those beings? Is it not possible? Lirai asked. Rian wanted to say no, but the Delary all stared at him with such hopeful eyes that he didn't have the heart. Before he could answer, a small Delary assistant stepped forward wearing a scanner device. Captain Ryan, may I request permission to scan your arm? We wish to measure human bone density. Ryan sighed. As long as it doesn't crush anything. We promise gentle contact, the assistant said quickly. The scanner beeped as it touched Ryan's skin. The Delary gathered around to look at the readings. Their expressions were pure shock. Your bones are 20 times denser than ours. Your muscle fibers are incredibly strong. Your skin is thick and durable. He is basically an armored being. Ryan raised both hands. Armored? No. Humans get hurt a lot. Mara nodded. Yeah, we're not invincible. We just heal faster than many species. The Delary ignored the correction entirely. To them, the evidence was amazing. Humans were resilient. Humans were tough. Humans were stable. Humans were everything the Delary were not. The curious tour. Lirai clapped her hands. We must show you our cooperative studies wing. Humans might teach us new ways of bonding and communication. Bonding meant teamwork. Mating, in their language, meant forming long-term cooperative partnerships. Everything was innocent, but Ryan wished someone had told him earlier because the translations created chaos. As the tour began, the Delary women kept asking questions. How do humans train their bodies? How do you prevent breaking? What is the secret behind human durability? Are all humans like you? Do humans have rituals that involve striking each other for social bonding? Ryan raised a finger. That last one is a misunderstanding. Mara whispered, well, humans do pat each other on the back and sometimes punch shoulders playfully. Ryan groaned. You're not helping? The Delary looked amazed once again. Punching is casual behavior? Incredible. What a powerful species. They must never fear anything. Ryan felt like he was digging himself deeper into a hole. A sudden alarm. Before he could correct them a second time, the station lights flashed yellow. A soft alarm echoed through the halls. What's happening? Ryan asked. Lirai checked her wrist pad. Her expression darkened. There has been a report of unknown ship movement near the station, possibly pirate observers. Mara frowned. Pirates? Are they dangerous? For us, very much so, Lirai said. We cannot withstand physical conflict. Even small vibrations can injure us. Ryan stood straighter. Do you have security teams? Only drones, Lirai answered sadly. We are scientists, not fighters. Ryan exchanged a look with Mara. Humans didn't like bullies. And pirates targeting gentle species didn't sit right with him. Don't worry, Ryan said. Humans can help if needed. The Delary stared at him, stunned. You would risk yourselves for us? Even though you just met us? But why? Ryan smiled softly. Because it's the right thing to do. For the Delary, who spent their lives afraid of injury, conflict, and strong physical forces, such courage was beyond imagination. The idea that another species would volunteer to help them seemed unreal. Lirai touched her chest lightly. Humans truly are the steel-bonded ones. Ryan groaned under his breath. Please stop calling us that. But inside, he felt something warm. Being seen as a protector wasn't so bad. The end of the beginning. As the alarm faded and the station returned to normal, Ryan realized something important. The Dalari didn't just misunderstand human toughness. They admired it. Even their fear came from respect, not doubt. They saw humans as strong allies, beings who could stand beside them where they could not stand alone. Ryan felt responsibility settle on his shoulders. He hadn't planned to become a symbol or a myth. He was just doing his job. But maybe, he thought, this misunderstanding could become something good. Maybe humans could be the ones to help the fragile species of the galaxy. Professor Lyrae stepped closer and bowed her head. Captain Ryan, tomorrow, we would like to invite you to the Dalari Council Chamber. We wish to test human cooperation abilities. Test? Ryan asked. What kind of test? She smiled gently. Nothing dangerous for you, but for us, it is very important. We want to understand how humans work together, without breaking. Ryan chuckled. I'll be there. And with that, the first day of human-Dalari contact ended. Not with fear or conflict, but with wonder, confusion, and the beginning of a strange new alliance. The next morning on the Galactic Peace Station began quietly, but Captain Ryan Coleman already knew something strange was waiting for him. The Dalari were polite, gentle, and peaceful, yet they were also extremely curious. And when curious scientists wanted to study human cooperation, anything could happen. He met his team, Mara Hale, Chief Engineer Leo Grant, and Medical Officer Nima Torres, in the hallway outside the Dalari Council chamber. Mara stretched her arms. Ready for today's experiments? Rian sighed. Let's hope they don't ask us to punch each other again. Leo laughed. Hey, they might think it's an advanced human ritual. Nima shook her head. Don't give them ideas. The doors slid open with a delicate chime, and the 4 humans stepped inside. The Dalari Council chamber. The room looked like a glowing dome of crystal. Soft blue light drifted across the walls, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. A group of Dalari women waited for them at the center, dressed in long silver robes. Their bodies looked as fragile as glass sculptures. Professor Lyrae greeted them with a warm smile. Welcome, Captain Rian. Welcome, humans. Today we will begin the Cooperative Resilience Trials. Rian raised an eyebrow. Resilience trials? For humans? Yes, Lyrae said proudly. We wish to understand how humans stay strong without breaking. Mara muttered, Here we go again. Lyrae continued, unaware of the sarcasm. These tests are simple for you, but for us they represent critical parts of our culture. We hope to learn from your methods. Rian nodded, keeping his voice calm. We'll do our best. Just tell us what you need. The Dalari seemed relieved. Their delicate bodies showed tension even when they spoke. They lived in fear of accidents their whole lives. The idea of testing humans, beings who could endure so much, gave them hope. Trial 1. The pressure tunnel. Lyrae guided them to a transparent walkway leading into a long tube glowing with purple light. This is our pressure tunnel, she said. It simulates environmental stress through increasing air density. We Dalari can only endure up to level 2. Humans may be able to go much farther. Rian stepped inside without hesitation. The air felt slightly heavy. How many levels are there? He asked. 20, Lyrae answered. Level 20 is impossible for any Dalari. Mara smirked. Let's find out how far humans can go. The tunnel hummed as the simulation started. Air pressure increased slowly, pushing against their skin, making their chests feel heavier. At level 3, the Dalari behind the glass gasped. They're still walking normally. They show no strain. They must have evolved under harsh worlds. Ryan kept moving forward. Level 5, level 7, level 10. At level 12, even the humans felt it. Leo breathed harder. Okay, this is getting rough. Mara wiped sweat from her forehead. Still manageable. Nima checked her pulse. We're healthy. The Dalari stared in disbelief. When they reached level 15, Ryan raised a hand. That's enough. We shouldn't push too far. Even stopping there shocked the Dalari. You made it through 75% of the tunnel, Lyrae whispered. Humans are far stronger than our calculations. Ryan just shrugged. We're used to harsh environments. But the awe in the Dalari's eyes said they saw something more. To them, this wasn't just strength. It was bravery. Trial 2, the Endurance Bridge. Next, the group entered a wide room where a long floating platform stretched across a deep pit filled with glowing fog. This is our Endurance Bridge, said a Dalari assistant. It tests balance, focus, and teamwork. Most species find it difficult. Ryan stepped onto the platform, which wobbled slightly. Easy. But then the assistant added, the bridge destabilizes when more than one being steps on it. It requires perfect harmony. Leo laughed. So basically, don't mess up? Exactly, the assistant said innocently. The humans positioned themselves in a line. As soon as they started walking, the bridge shook like a disturbed puddle. Mara wobbled. Whoa! This thing hates us, she yelled. Ryan gave instructions calmly. Keep your steps even. Don't rush. Use your core muscles. Together they moved slowly across the unstable surface. They had practiced balance in training, on ships, during missions, even in zero gravity. Working together was second nature. Halfway across, the Dalari gasped again. They coordinate without speaking. They sense each other's movements. Impossible. Ryan glanced back at his team. Doing great. Just keep steady. They reached the other side without falling once. The Dalari clapped their delicate hands softly. For them, it was a huge achievement. Lyrae's voice trembled with excitement. For Dalari, even one person can barely cross. But you humans crossed together without breaking formation. Ryan smiled. That's what teamwork means to us. Lyrae bowed lightly. We have much to learn from humans. Trial 3, the Harmony Sphere. The final test looked simple, a large glowing sphere floating in the center of a circular room. This is our Harmony Sphere, Lyrae explained. It measures emotional and mental cooperation. When touched by multiple beings, it scans their unity of mind. Nima stepped forward first. What do we need to do? Place your hands on the sphere at the same time. Stay calm. Stay connected. Let the sphere feel your bond. Ryan and his team surrounded the sphere and placed their palms on the surface. It felt cool and smooth, like glass submerged in water. The sphere lit up instantly with bright white light. The Dalari gasped. Already? That's the highest purity reading. Lyrae nearly stumbled in shock. How is that possible? Humans have such strong cooperative signals? Ryan glanced at his team. It didn't feel like anything special to them. They had gone through missions together, survived danger, fought side by side. Their bond was natural. The sphere pulsed brighter until the whole room glowed. One Dalari whispered in awe, humans do not just survive together, they connect deeply. Another added, no wonder they never break. Their unity makes them strong. The test ended with the sphere shining a soft golden color, something the Dalari had never seen before. It symbolized trust, a dark shadow. Before the Dalari could celebrate, the station lights flickered. A loud alarm blared through the halls. Red warning symbols flashed across the glass walls. Emergency alert! A Dalari guard cried. Unknown ships are approaching fast. Lyrae's face turned pale. It must be the same pirate group as yesterday. Mara cursed under her breath. Looks like this day isn't over. Ryan's expression hardened. What do we know? A hologram appeared in the center of the room. Several dark ships circled the station like hungry sharks. There are 3 pirate vessels. the guard said shakily. "They are demanding the Dalari matriarch surrender herself." Nima's eyes widened. "Why would they want her?" Lyrae swallowed. "The matriarch is our leader. She carries all Dalari genetic archives and cultural records. Pirates would ransom her or use her knowledge." The humans exchanged serious looks. Ryan stepped forward. "What defenses do you have?" "Only drones," Lyrae whispered. "We are scientists, not warriors." The ground beneath them vibrated as the pirate ships locked onto the station. Lyrae trembled. "If they breach our walls, we cannot survive a physical struggle. Even shock waves can break our bones." Ryan clenched his fists. This wasn't a test. This wasn't diplomacy. This was real danger, and humans were the only ones on the station who could fight. "We'll help," Ryan said firmly. Lyrae looked up with wide, fearful eyes. You would risk yourselves, even after only knowing us for one day?" Ryan nodded. "Yes, that's what humans do. We protect." The Dalari women stared at him with overwhelming emotion, fear, hope, and trust mixing together. "You truly are the steel-bonded ones," Lyrae said softly. Ryan didn't bother correcting her this time. The pirates were coming, and humans were ready. The red lights of the Galactic Peace Station flashed like angry stars as alarms echoed through every hallway. Captain Ryan Coleman moved quickly with his team, each step firm and focused. The peaceful morning had turned into a storm of danger, and the Dalari, a fragile species, were in no position to defend themselves. Mara Hale checked her wrist scanner while running. 3 pirate ships confirmed. They're preparing to dock forcefully." Leo Grant frowned. "Their engines are hot. They want to breach the station fast." Nima Torres pressed a medical kit to her chest. "If they break in, the shockwaves alone can hurt the Dalari." Ryan didn't slow. "That's why we stop them before they get inside." Behind them, Professor Lyrae and 2 Dalari guards followed, their delicate steps almost soundless. Their faces showed fear, but also trust. They believed in the humans now, maybe more than the humans believed in themselves. The first breach. A deep metallic thud shook the station. The walls trembled like a living heartbeat under stress. Lyrae gasped. "They've attached a boarding spike!" Mara pointed down the corridor. "There!" A long, sharp metal tube had pierced the outer hull, its tip glowing as pirates prepared to cut their way through. The Dalari guards stepped back instinctively. They were too fragile to be anywhere near the impact zone. Ryan motioned his team forward. Humans in front, Dalari behind us. Heat burst from the breach point as the metal began melting into a doorway. The humans stood firm, forming a wall of solid muscle and determination. Then the metal burst inward. A group of armored pirate raiders rushed through, all claws, heavy boots, and snarling mouths. Their armor alone weighed more than a Dalari body could safely carry. The first pirate laughed when he saw the humans. "Only 4 of you? This'll be quick." Ryan cracked his knuckles. "Try us!" The pirate charged, but Ryan stepped sideways and slammed his shoulder into him. The pirate flew backward, crashing into 2 others. Mara spun and kicked another pirate's weapon out of his hand. Leo tackled one to the ground, pinning him with surprising force. Nima, though a medic, used precision strikes to disable joints and disarm attackers. The Dalari stared with wide, shocked eyes as the humans fought like seasoned warriors. Where the Dalari were delicate, humans were durable. Where the Dalari avoided danger, humans ran straight into it. The pirates kept coming, but the humans held their ground. Within minutes, the corridor was silent except for the groans of defeated pirates. Lyrae whispered, "This would have destroyed us. But you stood like a shield." Ryan wiped a smear of dust from his forehead. "Stay behind us. We're not done yet." Protecting the matriarch, a Dalari guard rushed in, panting lightly. "Captain Ryan, They are approaching the matriarch's chamber from another side of the station. Lyray's breath caught. We must go there immediately. The matriarch was not just a leader. She carried the genetic, cultural, and scientific knowledge of her entire species. Losing her would be a disaster that might never be repaired. Ryan nodded sharply. Lead the way. The group sprinted through the winding crystal corridors. The station shook again, this time more violently. Leo muttered, They're hitting the external hull now. They want us distracted. They won't get what they came for, Ryan said. They reached the entrance to the matriarch's chamber, a large set of silver doors shaped like folded wings. Dalari guards stood tense, but fear made their hands tremble. Just as the humans approached, the doors shook with a heavy blow from the other side. Boom! A deep crack appeared. Nima's eyes widened. They're trying to break in. Mara raised her plasma baton. We'll hold them. Another slam. Boom! Ryan placed a steadying hand on the closest guard. Please move back. If the door breaks, the shock could injure you. The guard nodded gratefully and stepped aside. A third slam. Then the doors burst open. Inside the chamber. The chamber was a serene room filled with soft blue light. At the center sat the Dalari matriarch, her silver robe glowing softly, her frail frame almost floating on her cushioned seat. She looked peaceful, calm, but Ryan saw the fear in her eyes. Behind her, several more pirates stormed inside. Their leader stepped forward, tall and heavily armored, carrying a shock lance designed to stun strong species. Move aside, humans, he snarled. This does not concern you. Ryan stepped between him and the matriarch, expression cold. It concerns us now. The pirate laughed. You think your bodies can stop us? We know humans are strong, but not strong enough to fight an entire raider clan. Ryan didn't reply. He simply moved. The fight exploded instantly. The pirate leader swung his shock lance, but Ryan dodged and grabbed the pirate's wrist, twisting sharply. The lance clattered to the ground. Mara jumped over it and engaged two pirates at once. Her movements quick and sharp. Leo rammed into another pirate, knocking him sideways into a table. Nima swung a tool into the side of a pirate's helmet, stunning him long enough for Leo to bind his arms. The Dalari watched, frozen, as humans fought with a mixture of courage, instinct, and teamwork that they had never seen before. Ryan took 2 hits to the shoulder but kept standing. Humans were built for impact, built to endure. The pirate leader growled in frustration. Why won't you break? Ryan pushed him back with a hard shove. Because humans don't break when someone else needs us. With one final punch, Ryan knocked him unconscious. Silence fell over the room. The humans stood breathing heavily, bruised but unbroken. The Dalari matriarch slowly rose from her seat, her fragile hands clasped to her chest. You protected us, she whispered, her voice full of awe, even though we could not protect you. Ryan bowed his head slightly. Your people needed help. That was enough. Tears glimmered in her eyes, delicate, shining like crystal dew. You are truly the allies we prayed for. Escaped through the maintenance tunnels, Lyrae rushed forward. Captain, more pirates are docking on the far side. We must evacuate the matriarch to the inner sanctuary. Ryan nodded. Where is it? Deep inside the station. The fastest route is through the maintenance tunnels. Show us. The tunnels were narrow, dim, and cramped. Perfect for small-framed Dalari. Terrible for armored pirates. Exactly what the humans needed. The group moved quickly through twisting paths. Ryan carried the matriarch gently, careful not to jar her fragile bones. She was lighter than he expected, delicate like a bird, warm but breakable. Behind him, Lyrae guided their path. To the right, then down the ladder. Mara checked behind them. No pursuers yet. But just as she said it, the tunnel shook again, dust falling from above. They've started cutting into the side walls. Leo warned. Ryan tightened his hold on the matriarch. Move faster! The tunnels grew tighter, forcing the humans to crouch and squeeze through narrow spaces. Pirates wouldn't fit here, but the station's vibrations made it dangerous for the Dalari. Nima whispered, Easy. Hold her steady. Not too fast. Ryan nodded, adjusting his pace. They reached a vertical shaft. Down here, Lyrae said. The inner sanctuary is below. Ryan began climbing carefully, holding the matriarch close. Mara, Leo, and Nima followed after. Above them, echoes of pirate weapons sounded. They were close, but humans were faster, stronger, more determined. Reaching the sanctuary. At last, the group stepped into a bright circular room protected by thick walls and a shimmering energy field. Lyrae activated the barrier. A soft hum filled the air as the shield rose around them. The matriarch touched Ryan's arm softly, so softly he barely felt it. Your species has saved ours today, she whispered. We will never forget. Ryan smiled. We're not done yet. We still need to stop the pirates. Mara cracked her knuckles. And we will. Leo checked his tool belt. Let's take their ship apart. Nima grinned. Literally. The matriarch looked at them with shining eyes filled with trust. Humans, she said softly, you are not unbreakable, but you are unbroken. And that is far greater. Rian nodded. Then let's finish this. Outside, the pirates regrouped. Inside, the humans prepared for the final fight. The real battle was about to begin. The great hall of the Avari capital glowed with silver and blue light. Tall pillars stood like frozen waves, curving into the polished ceiling. Thousands of alien women from the Avari, Velari, Shaikun, and Aerith species filled the space. They stood in silence, watching the human delegation enter. At the front of the human group walked Commander Isaac Hale, calm but alert, wearing the standard deep blue Earth Alliance uniform. Behind him marched representatives from different human colonies. All of them felt the same tension humming in the air. The day had come. This meeting would decide the future of human-alien relations. And it all began because alien women across several worlds had learned something unusual, something about humans they had never expected. Rumors across the galaxy were wild, dramatic, exaggerated, but they all circled one idea. Humans were far sturdier, far more adaptable, and far more genetically stable than any species had assumed. The rumors had started from a simple scientific misunderstanding, then exploded into shock across alien societies. Some alien leaders panicked, some became curious, others saw potential alliances they had never imagined before. Now everything rested on the truth humans would present today. Isaac walked to the central platform and looked at the enormous crowd. Many alien women stared at him with awe. Others narrowed their eyes, trying to evaluate him like a puzzle. The Avari High matriarch floated down from her crystal seat. Her shimmering wings unfolded behind her like living silk. Commander Isaac Hale, she said in a calm but ringing voice, we welcome you to the Council of Shared Origins. Speak. Tell us truth without fear. Isaac nodded. Thank you, High Matriarch. Humans come today not to challenge your beliefs, but to explain our nature. There has been confusion, surprise, even fear. But we hope to clear all of that. The hall whispered with anticipation. Isaac tapped a small device on the podium. A hologram appeared, showing images of human anatomy, cell structure, and regeneration capability. As many of you discovered, Isaac began, humans have strong bodies and exceptional adaptability. Our bones heal faster than those of many starfaring species. Our muscles rebuild themselves after stress. Our cells resist breakdown. We survive cold, heat, radiation, and pressure better than expected. A Velari woman raised her hand sharply. That is exactly what shocked us. Your physical resilience is unbelievable. Some of our species need specialized chambers for the smallest environmental change. Isaac nodded respectfully. Yes. But our strength was never meant to intimidate. It is simply evolution. Earth was difficult. Our ancestors had to survive storms, predators, and unpredictable environments. But your endurance, another alien woman added, makes your species rare and valuable. The hall murmured again. Isaac sensed the tone, some admiration, some skepticism. He continued. There were misunderstandings about human mating resilience too, he said carefully. Many alien scientists assumed humans were extremely fragile. When they discovered the opposite, they reacted with surprise. But that does not make humans unnatural or dangerous. A wave of embarrassed whispers moved across the hall. Some alien women avoided eye contact. Others looked curious or impressed. Isaac allowed them time to settle. To be clear, he said gently, humans do not break easily, not physically, not mentally, not spiritually. Our species survived because we are resilient. But that resilience is not a threat. It is who we are. The Avari High Matriarch studied him closely. Her wings shimmered with emotions only Avari could read. You speak with calm honesty, she said. But we must ask, why hide this resilience for so long? Isaac took a deep breath. We did not hide it. You simply never studied humans deeply until now, and humans never imagined someone would misunderstand us so greatly. The High Matriarch nodded slowly. At that moment, a new figure stepped forward, a tall, crystal-skinned woman from the Shaikun species. We Shaikun have discussed humans intensely, she said. Your strength may help us survive our declining birth rates, but we do not want to use your species. We want to understand it. We want cooperation, not ownership. Isaac felt a small weight lift from his chest. The Shaikun were powerful, and their stance would influence the rest of the council. Another representative, the fiery-haired Aerith woman named Velora, stepped ahead. Our people admire courage, she said, and humans have courage in abundance. Your species has survived without advanced technology for most of its history. That alone earns our respect. She pointed at the hologram. But this biological resilience, her eyes narrowed with scientific interest, makes humans unique. You recover from exhaustion faster. You endure impacts others cannot. You rebuild stronger after damage. That is why our women reacted with disbelief. Isaac lifted his chin. And I stand here to prove none of that should cause fear. Velora smirked slightly. Fear? No. Curiosity? Absolutely. Soft laughter spread across the hall. Isaac continued the explanation, using simple visuals and terms. He shared examples, a human climbing mountains without equipment, another surviving deep oceans, another running for hours without rest. He explained that none of this was magic. It was biology. But the highlight came when he revealed Earth's history of hardship, mass extinctions, climate shifts, diseases that reshaped human immunity, and a world filled with varied terrains. Earth made us strong, he said, but also made us cooperative. We survived because we helped each other. That line changed the mood completely. The Avari High Matriarch floated closer to Isaac and lowered her wings in respect. Commander Hale, she said, your words show the heart of your species, not strength only, not durability only, but unity. Isaac bowed his head. Unity is our greatest weapon. The hall fell quiet. Then a gentle but firm voice echoed through the chamber. Then let unity shape our future. It was Lady Saris, the Valari scientist who first discovered the misconception about humans. She stepped forward, holding a data crystal. Let this be known, she declared. The misunderstandings between our species were born from curiosity, not hostility. Humans are not fragile and they are not dangerous. They are simply different. And difference should spark cooperation, not fear. The crowd applauded, soft at first, then louder. Lady Saris turned to Isaac. "We invite humans to join a new alliance," she said. "One built on honesty, shared research, and mutual respect." Isaac looked around the massive hall. Thousands of alien women stood united, waiting for his answer. He spoke with steady confidence. "On behalf of Earth and all human colonies, we accept." A bright wave of light erupted from the ceiling, a ceremonial Avari blessing. Soft petals made of glowing energy drifted down over everyone. In that moment, the hall felt peaceful, unified, hopeful. The High Matriarch raised her wings and declared, "Let this day be remembered as the dawn of understanding. Humans and the women of the stars shall walk together, not in fear, but in respect." Applause thundered through the chamber. Isaac felt something deep inside him, relief, pride, and a strange sense of destiny. The galaxy had feared or misunderstood humans, but now they finally saw the truth. Humans were not weak, they were not fragile, they were resilient, and that resilience would help shape the future of countless worlds. As the council members approached Isaac for handshakes, discussions, and new agreements, he realized something important. This was not the end of the story. This was the beginning of a new age, an age where humans would no longer be underestimated. An age where the galaxy would finally understand the strength of the human spirit. And with that, Part 4 came to a close, ending the first chapter of a future that would be written by humanity and the stars together.